Have you ever noticed the lines on your palm? They're always there, carrying a particular meaning. If these lines form the letter M, the meaning becomes even more significant, taking on symbolic and spiritual implications. Perhaps you've never noticed it because you don't believe in palmistry. However, having the M on your palm isn't just about palmistry theories. So, what does it mean to have the letter M on your palm? Let's explore this through a story rich in Buddhist wisdom, offering emotional well-being and inner peace. Get comfortable and stay until the end, as what you'll hear may surprise you, especially if you're among the rare people with this letter on their hand. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to stay updated on new content for your spiritual growth. In a serene Buddhist temple hidden in a charming Japanese forest, the wise and elderly monk, Nini, gathered his disciples in the courtyard. "My children," Nini began with a calm, penetrating voice, "have you ever felt as if the universe were whispering ancient secrets about your destiny? Have you ever had the impression that your fate holds something unique and mysterious for you?" His disciples, captivated by his eloquence, nodded, reflecting on sensations they had experienced over time. Imagine entering a place and feeling your energy being absorbed, as if the environment were demanding your life force, he continued. Have you ever felt that shiver down your spine, that subtle sensation leading you to change course, cancel plans, or follow a new path just in time to avoid something? The disciples exchanged questioning glances, but Nini continued, not giving them time to respond or ask questions. He wanted them to think deeply, but also stay focused on his words. And then there's that strange, enigmatic symbol marked on your hands, the letter M. Those of you who have it know exactly what I'm talking about. One disciple timidly raised his hand. "Master, I have the letter M on my palm, and I've always wondered what it means." Another added, "I also have the M on my palm and was told it means we are destined to live shorter lives. But what is the truth?" Nini smiled, a compassionate smile that seemed to illuminate the night. "Prepare to uncover the secrets destiny has in store for you. Welcome to the mystery of the letter M." With serene grace, the monk shared the parable of a traveler whose deeds were guided by a star shaped like an M, illuminating the sky and his soul, leading him through the mysteries of the world. "Imagine," said the old monk, "that you are like that traveler, with the letter M engraved on your palm. It's like having a secret map of the universe, an inner guide pushing you toward your true essence, your spiritual mission, and life-changing events." The disciples listened intently, eager to learn more about the mysterious letter. Those with the letter M on their palm can manifest incredible inner strength, Nini continued. These individuals are often natural leaders, inspiring and influencing those around them. Their energy is magnetic, attracting others like stars are drawn to the moon. They may be political leaders, business captains, or simply good people who illuminate the paths of those around them. Charismatic parents, teachers, doctors, and in the spiritual realm, they are custodians of ancient secrets. They tune into higher energies, discern hidden truths, and guide others toward the light. The disciples listened with growing amazement, feeling part of something bigger than themselves. Those with the letter M on their hands felt a sense of pride and purpose, while others began to respect their companions more deeply. However, Nini warned, with the power of the letter M also comes great responsibility. You must use your gift with wisdom and compassion, or you risk being overwhelmed by the dark forces that lurk in the shadows. As the fireplace crackled gently, Nini urged his disciples to cultivate their connection with the letter M, exploring its mysteries with humility and gratitude. "Remember," the monk said in a solemn tone, "your letter M is unique, just like your path. There is no one else like you, and no one can carry out your spiritual mission except yourself." The disciples nodded, feeling a new determination burning in their hearts. Guided by the wise monk, they were ready to explore the mysteries of the letter M and discover their true purpose in the universe. In the tranquil Buddhist temple, the light of knowledge burned brightly as the disciples embraced their destiny with hope and confidence, ready to embark on a journey of discovery and transformation under Nini's loving guidance. Majestically, Nini slowly stood up, his figure bathed in a divine light that seemed to emanate from his very essence. "Now that you understand the meaning of the letter M on your palm," he said in a grave but hopeful voice, "it's time to explore its power and wisdom more deeply." The disciples approached him eagerly, ready to learn more. "Look," Nini said, pointing to the twinkling stars in the night sky. As the stars move harmoniously in the vast universe, so too are you called to move harmoniously with your letter M. Every decision you make is a universal dance between your free will and divine design. Your choices affect not just your reality, but that of your loved ones and the universe itself. A disciple raised his hand. "Master, how can we be sure we are following the right path? How can we ensure this privilege is not in vain?" Nini smiled, the wisdom in his eyes shining like an eternal flame. "Listen to your heart," he said. "Your letter M is like an inner compass, always ready to show you the way. But remember," the Master continued, "your journey will not be without challenges and difficulties. Dark forces will try to divert you from your path, but with the light of your letter M as your guide, you will overcome every obstacle and emerge stronger and wiser." Another disciple raised her hand. "Master, what if we don't have the letter M on our palm?" Nini paused, contemplating the question deeply. "Even if you don't physically possess the letter M, you can still access its wisdom and power," he replied. "True strength lies within you, regardless of external physical characteristics. Find your center, listen to your inner voice, and you will be guided towards your spiritual realization." The disciples looked at each other with a new sense of understanding and acceptance. The old monk's words made them reflect, opening a world of emotions in their hearts and minds. Nini, looking at the starry sky, took a deep breath and added, "Whether you bear the letter M or not, always remember that you are an integral part of the great mosaic of the universe. Each individual, with their own uniqueness and beauty, contributes to the fabric of life. May your journey be illuminated by the light of wisdom and love, and may you find your true essence and inner growth." With these words, Nini closed his eyes. The disciples looked at him in silence, feeling the depth of his message vibrate in the surrounding air. Time seemed to slow down, as if the universe itself had stopped to listen to the words of the wise monk. When Nini reopened his eyes, his gaze was serene and radiant with hope. "And now," he said in a clear voice, "let us move forward, each of us on our journey of spiritual discovery and realization. May the light of our letter M, whether visible or not, always guide us towards our true essence and highest destiny." In the quiet temple, the fire of knowledge continued to burn brightly as the disciples set out towards their destiny with renewed vigor and awareness. Have you ever heard of the ancient practice of putting coarse salt in the corners of your house? This practice, passed down by Buddhist monks and healers, has deep roots in wisdom and holds significant symbolic and spiritual implications. Stay until the end of this video to learn about the powerful benefits of salt and the ancient story behind it. In a quiet Buddhist monastery hidden in the Japanese mountains, the wise old monk Koshi shared stories of profound wisdom with his devoted disciples. "Dear disciples," he began, There is an ancient practice that may appear simple, but has deep roots in Buddhist wisdom and important symbolic and spiritual implications. The monk continued, "Putting coarse salt in the corners of your house may seem like a trivial gesture, but it is like sowing the seed of change and watching how it flourishes." A young monk raised an eyebrow skeptically. "I used to doubt this practice," he admitted, "but now I wonder what would happen if I did it. You should know that salt has been valued throughout the centuries, considered more than just a spice. It was traded like gold, and many believed it possessed magical properties." "But why put salt in the corners of the house?" asked another young nun. "Because salt isn't just about making food taste better," Koshi replied. "It has a much deeper history." The monk embarked on a tale that unfolded through ancient cultures and civilizations, from the ancient Egypt of the pharaohs to Gandhi's India, from the regions of Normandy to Bavaria, from Judaism to Buddhism. He explained how salt had been considered a protective amulet, a symbol of unshakable life, a means of purification and harmonization. "It is more than meets the eye," Koshi said. "It is a bridge between us and the universe, a key to our connection with nature and with ourselves." His disciples absorbed the words of the wise monk, reflecting on the depth behind such a simple gesture as putting salt in the corners of one's home. They began to understand that even the smallest actions can lead to significant changes when intrinsically connected to wisdom and awareness. "Every practice has a beginning," Hiroshi began, his voice carrying the weight of centuries of tradition. "The practice of using salt as a tool of purification and transformation is deeply rooted in our past, intertwined with the stories of monks, sages, and ordinary people alike." The disciples leaned in, eager to uncover the secrets Hiroshi was about to reveal. "In Buddhist tradition," he explained, "salt is considered a protective amulet capable of repelling negative energies and purifying the space it occupies." A young nun raised her hand, her curiosity evident. "But how did this practice begin?" she asked. Hiroshi smiled gently. "In times past, corners were believed to be places where stagnant energies could accumulate, creating an imbalance in the home environment. By placing salt in these points, an energetic barrier was created to repel negative influences." The disciples' eyes shone with interest as Hiroshi continued. "In Japan, for instance, salt is used in Shinto purification rituals to eliminate spiritual impurities and protect against evil spirits. This practice has evolved over the centuries, but its profound meaning has remained intact. Even today, many elderly people cultivate it and pass it down to their heirs." As Hiroshi spoke, the disciples found themselves transported to a world of ancient beliefs, superstitions, and traditional wisdom. They began to understand that the simple gesture of putting salt in the corners of the house was an act of protection and harmonization with the universe. "But the power of this element is not limited to protection," Hiroshi continued, his eyes bright with wisdom. "Salt also has the ability to transform stagnant energies into positivity and create an environment that fosters personal growth and emotional well-being." The disciples listened intently, fascinated by the monk's words. For them, the concept of using salt as a tool for purification and transformation was becoming increasingly clear and meaningful. "And now," said Hiroshi, as the fire crackled softly before them, "I will show you a simple yet powerful method for using salt to purify and harmonize your home environment." With an air of expectation, the disciples gathered even closer, ready to learn the master's secrets. They knew that even though salt might seem like a common thing, its power was profound and transformative. Hiroshi was ready to lead them on a journey of discovery through the ancient practices involving this humble yet powerful element. "First of all," continued the elderly monk, We must understand the role of salt in our daily lives and its connection to the energies that surround us. Salt has been precious throughout the ages, Hiroshi explained, not only for its culinary value, but also for its physical and symbolic properties. It was considered a divine gift, a symbol of purification and protection against dark forces. As he spoke, he showcased a variety of salts collected from around the world, from raw sea salt to pink Himalayan salt crystals. Each type of salt carries with it a unique vibration, he said, and learning to use salt correctly means being aware of this diversity and how it can affect our environment and our inner energy. The disciples contemplated the various types of salt with curiosity, aware of their potential significance beyond the simple flavor they added to meals. "But how can we fully harness the power of salt in our lives?" asked one of the monks, eager to apply what he was learning. "You ask an important question," Hiroshi replied with a smile. "The key is in intention and mindful practice. I will show you a method you can use to purify and protect your home environment." He continued, "The moon is a powerful energy catalyst, and when salt is exposed to its light, it becomes charged with purifying and harmonizing energy." The disciples watched in awe as the salt absorbed the silvery light of the moon, exuding an aura of tranquility and power. "This salt," said Hiroshi, "can be used to create a circle of protection around your home or to purify interior spaces." With an elegant gesture, he took a pinch of salt from the bowl and scattered it around the perimeter of the monastery courtyard, tracing an invisible circle of protection. "This circle," he explained, "will create an energetic barrier that will repel negative influences and promote peace and harmony within these boundaries." The disciples watched reverently as Hiroshi completed the circle of salt, feeling the presence of a protective energy surrounding the monastery. It was as if the place itself had been enveloped in a loving and powerful embrace. But the power of salt is not just limited to external protection, Hiroshi continued. It can also be used to purify and harmonize internal spaces, creating an environment that promotes spiritual growth and well-being. With this, he led the disciples inside the monastery, where he guided them through a series of practices involving salt to purify and harmonize the internal spaces. Each gesture was performed with awareness and intention, as the disciples learned to connect with the power of salt and use it to transform the energies around them. Have you ever noticed how humidity can accumulate on the walls of your home, especially in certain areas? Hiroshi asked, scanning the expressions of his audience. Everyone nodded in agreement, recalling times when they had observed this phenomenon in their homes. Placing salt in those spots can be extremely helpful, Hiroshi continued. Salt has the ability to absorb humidity from the surrounding air, thus helping to prevent the formation of mold and safeguard our health. The disciples nodded, understanding that the practice of using salt went beyond spiritual purification and extended to practical benefits in their daily lives. They were ready to embrace this ancient wisdom and integrate it into their own practices, guided by Hiroshi's profound teachings. "But that's not all," Hiroshi said with a smile that suggested a new revelation. "Salt can also be an ally in the fight against bad odors in domestic environments. Placing small bowls of salt in strategic locations around the home, such as the kitchen or bathroom, can help absorb and neutralize bad odors. In this way, salt acts as a natural air purifier, keeping rooms fresh and pleasant. And these benefits of salt, although not directly linked to spirituality, have a strong connection with our spiritual path. Just as it absorbs humidity and bad smells, salt also absorbs energies, emotions, and negative presences. Therefore, it has a very powerful symbolic and spiritual role, which each of us should take into account." Hiroshi paused, then asked, "Do you often wake up between 3 and 5 in the morning?" Have you ever felt uneasiness or curiosity when this happens? In this story, we will explore what it means to wake up recurrently at these times and discover how these moments can offer opportunities for personal and spiritual growth. The disciples listened intently, sensing that this teaching would reveal much more than they anticipated. In an ancient Buddhist monastery located among the mountains of Tibet lived the monk Kiro, famous for his vast wisdom. His lessons on awareness and compassion were renowned far and wide, and disciples came to him from afar to learn from his teachings. One evening, while twilight colored the sky with shades of red and gold, Kiro gathered his disciples in the main hall to answer a question they had asked him several times. Why do some people wake up most nights between 3 and 5 while others don't? Are these awakenings phenomena related to chance, or do they have meaning? Dear disciples, Kiro began in a calm voice, today we will explore nocturnal awakenings and their connection to Eastern medicine and Buddhist wisdom. In Eastern medicine, night awakenings are believed to be linked to the body's energy meridians and their influences on us. Kiro proceeded to explain how each night waking time was associated with a particular organ or system of the body, and how Eastern medicine viewed these awakenings as signs of energetic or emotional imbalance that required attention and care. For example, Kiro said, waking up between 3 and 5 in the morning is associated with the lungs and emotions of sadness. This could indicate a need to address and heal deep emotional wounds, thus allowing our vital energy to flow freely. The disciples nodded, reflecting on their master's words and trying to apply them to their own experiences. Master, one of them asked, how can we interpret night awakenings in the light of Buddhist wisdom? Kiro smiled, recognizing his student's deep curiosity. In Buddhism, he replied, every moment of the day is an opportunity to practice mindfulness and compassion. Nighttime awakenings offer us a unique window to explore our mental and emotional states without the distractions we have during the day. Kiro shared stories of ancient Buddhist masters who, through meditation and contemplation, had transformed their nocturnal awakenings into opportunities to deepen their understanding of the human mind and soul. The Buddha taught that waking up at night can be seen as an invitation to develop awareness and kindness towards ourselves and others. Kiro said, it is a time to embrace our experiences without judgment, thus allowing inner wisdom to emerge and move us forward along our path of spiritual rebirth. The disciples, listening with gratitude, felt inspired by the profound union between Eastern medicine and Buddhist wisdom that their master had outlined. Remember, Kiro added, that every waking night is an opportunity to grow, learn, and connect with the deepest part of ourselves. Be grateful for these moments of awareness, for they are precious gifts on the path to spiritual fulfillment. But now, he concluded, let's see in more detail which areas of life are affected by nocturnal awakenings. Hiroshi continued with a smile that suggested a new revelation. Salt can also be an ally in the fight against bad odors in domestic environments. Placing small bowls of salt in strategic locations around the home, such as the kitchen or bathroom, can help absorb and neutralize bad odors, he explained. In this way, salt acts as a natural air purifier, keeping rooms fresh and pleasant. And these two important benefits of salt, my dears, although they are not directly linked to spirituality, actually have a strong connection with our spiritual path. Just as salt absorbs humidity and bad smells, it also absorbs energies, emotions, and negative presences. Therefore, it has a very powerful symbolic and spiritual role, which each of us should take into account. Hiroshi paused and asked, do you often wake up between 3 and 5 in the morning? Have you ever felt a sense of uneasiness or curiosity when this happens? In this video, through a Zen story, we will explore what it means to wake up recurrently at these times. Together, we will delve into the mysteries behind these moments and discover how they can offer an opportunity for personal and spiritual growth. Stay until the end, because you will find that these nocturnal awakenings can reveal much more than you think. But before continuing, if you are not yet one of us, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to stay updated on new publications. In an ancient Buddhist monastery located among the mountains of Tibet lived a monk named Kiro, famous for his vast wisdom. His lessons on awareness and compassion were renowned far and wide, and disciples came from afar to learn from his teachings. One evening, while twilight colored the sky with shades of red and gold, Kiro gathered his disciples in the main hall to answer a question they had asked him several times. Why do some people wake up most nights between 3 and 5, while others don't? Are these awakenings phenomena related to chance, or do they have a meaning? Dear disciples, Kiro began in a calm voice, today we will explore nocturnal awakenings and their connection to Eastern medicine and Buddhist wisdom. He explained how each night waking time was associated with a particular organ or system of the body, and how Eastern medicine viewed these awakenings as signs of energetic or emotional imbalance that required attention and care. For example, Kiro said, waking up between 3 and 5 in the morning is associated with the lungs and emotions of sadness. This could indicate a need to address and heal deep emotional wounds, thus allowing our vital energy to flow freely. The disciples nodded, reflecting on their master's words and trying to apply them to their own experiences. Master, one of them asked, how can we interpret night awakenings in the light of Buddhist wisdom? Kiro smiled, recognizing his student's deep curiosity. In Buddhism, he replied, every moment of the day is an opportunity to practice mindfulness and compassion. Nighttime awakenings offer us a unique window to explore our mental and emotional states without the distractions we have during the day. Kiro shared stories of ancient Buddhist masters who, through meditation and contemplation, had transformed their nocturnal awakenings into opportunities to deepen their understanding of the human mind and soul. The Buddha taught that waking up at night can be seen as an invitation to develop awareness and kindness towards ourselves and others, Kiro said. It is a time to embrace our experiences without judgment, thus allowing inner wisdom to emerge and move us forward along our path of spiritual rebirth. The disciples, listening with gratitude, felt inspired by the profound union between Eastern medicine and Buddhist wisdom that their master had outlined. Remember, Kiro added, that every waking night is an opportunity to grow, learn, and connect with the deepest part of ourselves. Be grateful for these moments of awareness, for they are precious gifts on the path to spiritual fulfillment. But now, he continued, let's see in more detail which areas of life are affected by nocturnal awakenings, so that you can better analyze yourself and others. Stress and anxiety accumulated during the day can manifest themselves in waking up at night between 3 and 5 in the morning, Kiro explained. During these hours, the human body is naturally predisposed to release peaks of cortisol, the stress hormone. If these levels are already high due to daily worries, you are likely to experience nocturnal awakenings. In these cases, practices like meditation, deep breathing, and muscle relaxation can help reduce stress and promote deeper sleep. My suggestion is to meditate for at least 10 minutes before going to bed, preparing yourself for a more peaceful sleep. Waking up at these particular hours of the night is associated with the lungs in Chinese medicine and with sadness according to Eastern psychology. This may indicate the presence of repressed or unprocessed emotions such as grief, loss, or loneliness. Facing and accepting these emotions is fundamental to inner healing. Practicing mindfulness and exploring emotions through writing or therapy can help you understand and integrate these experiences. If you have suffered negative experiences of this type, I recommend you work on yourself to process them and find inner peace and emotional balance. Looking into the eyes of his disciples, Kiro continued, "In the Eastern spiritual tradition, the early hours of the morning are considered a privileged time for connection with the divine and for spiritual practice. During this period of tranquility and silence, it is easier to get lost in meditation, prayer, or deep contemplation. Many people wake up at these hours precisely because their deepest self seeks to connect with the divine. Many practitioners find that waking up specifically between 3 and 5 in the morning is an opportunity to experience greater spiritual presence and awareness, opening the door to new insights and spiritual realizations. These nocturnal awakenings," Kiro continued, "can also be interpreted as signs of a process of inner transformation and personal growth. During these hours, the subconscious may be more active, bringing hidden emotions, thoughts, and desires to the surface. This can be a time to deeply explore your psyche and identify what changes or transformations are necessary to live a more authentic and meaningful life. However," Kiro cautioned, "some nocturnal awakenings can be caused by physical disorders, such as acid reflux, insomnia, sleep apnea, or liver problems. These disorders can interrupt sleep and cause frequent awakenings during these hours. Eastern medicine suggests various remedies for these conditions, but if you think you may have such problems, consult a doctor to identify and treat the underlying cause. Eradicating these problems at the root allows you to improve the quality of sleep and promote emotional and general well-being." As the disciples continued to listen to the monk's words with great attention, Kiro introduced another important aspect. "The period from 3 to 5 in the morning," he said, "is considered a time when the unconscious can communicate important messages through dreams and awakenings. This theory is suggested by both ancient Zen wisdom and the analytical psychology of Carl Gustav Jung. These messages can be symbolic or intuitive and can provide valuable insights into our inner lives, relationships, or challenges we are facing. Keeping a dream diary or practicing meditation before sleep can help capture and interpret these unconscious messages. If you write them down immediately the next day, you will have the opportunity to remember them and use them in your growth process." Another reason why some of us wake up at those times, according to Eastern tradition, is linked to the natural rhythms of the universe. The early hours of the morning are considered a time when vital energy is concentrated and flows more freely. Waking during this time may indicate an alignment with these natural cycles. To adapt to them and promote health and well-being, practices such as yoga, tai chi, or meditation can help harmonize the body, mind, and spirit with the rhythms of nature. So, my dear, consider practicing them." A disciple asked, "Master Kiro, should we ultimately be worried if we often wake up at these times?" "My dears," said the monk, "I would look at these awakenings as a precious opportunity to explore the depths of our mind, spirit, and even body. If an awakening suggests a physical problem to us, we will know we need to take care of it. If it suggests a spiritual meaning to us, we will know we have to work on it. Remember, through Eastern wisdom and heartfelt compassion, to learn to welcome these moments as precious gifts along the journey of life. Every nocturnal awakening is an invitation to greater awareness and understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So, instead of resisting or ignoring these awakenings, we can welcome them with kindness and openness, allowing them to illuminate our path to spiritual fulfillment. The best thing you can do," Kiro concluded, "is to create a space of quiet and reflection before going to bed, allowing your mind and body to completely relax. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, or reading inspirational texts can prepare you for a more restful and deep sleep. And when you wake up between 3 and 5 in the morning, take this phenomenon as an opportunity to explore your inner self and connect with your deepest essence. Have you ever heard of the ancient practice of washing your feet with vinegar? Have you ever heard of its enormous benefits on both a physical and mental level? Did you know that behind a simple daily act like this lies a profound spiritual meaning? The Zen story you will hear shortly will be a journey of discovery and reflection, where we will explore not only the physical benefits, but also the profound spiritual meanings of this ancient ritual. Get ready to immerse yourself in a story full of wisdom and stay until the end, because you will discover what happens on a spiritual level if you take foot baths with hot water and vinegar. In a quiet monastery located among the green hills of Japan, the elderly Buddhist monk Kav sat among his disciples, surrounded by the silence and serenity that enveloped the sacred place. Golden sunset light filtered through the windows of the main hall, barely illuminating Kav's serene face. Kavada continued to illustrate the numerous benefits of washing your feet with vinegar. Imagine your tired feet after a long day of work or walking, he said. Immersing them in a solution of water and vinegar is like giving them a regenerating and invigorating treatment. He emphasized how ancient healers suggested this ritual to safeguard health on a physical level. Washing your feet with vinegar brings numerous benefits, especially for blood circulation and muscle relaxation. The heat of the water combined with the relaxing properties of the vinegar helps the muscles of the feet to relax, dissolving the tensions accumulated during the day. This muscle relaxation not only brings immediate relief, but can also promote better posture and greater balance in the long term, as the muscles in the feet are essential for supporting the full weight of the body throughout our days. Kavada also highlighted the exfoliating effect of vinegar on the skin of the feet, removing dead cells and leaving them soft and smooth. This deep cleansing process contributes to the overall health of the feet, he explained. You might smile to hear a monk talk about the exfoliating power of this practice, he added with a chuckle, but the truth is that even these seemingly frivolous aspects play a role in our physical and emotional well-being. The disciples laughed, appreciating the master's humor and insight. Kavada continued in a calm voice, transitioning to the symbolic and spiritual aspects of this ancient Buddhist ritual. In washing our feet with vinegar, we find a profound symbol of our inner search and aspiration for spiritual purity. Imagine our tired and dusty feet after a long journey through life. Every step we take leaves an imprint, a sign of our experiences, our struggles, and our joys. Yet, despite the weight of the journey, we continue to advance with determination and hope. In this simple act of washing the dirt off our feet, we see the desire to purify our mind and heart from the impurities of the world. Kavada continued. Think of vinegar as the transforming force that acts on us, as a regenerating liquid that flows over our feet, bringing with it a new vitality. Just as vinegar slowly dissolves accumulated dirt and sweeps away dead skin, so we seek to loosen the chains of selfishness, hatred, and fear that imprison us. Through this ritual, we come closer to the awareness of our limits and fragilities, paving the way for a greater understanding of ourselves and others. The washing of feet with vinegar is not only a gesture of purification, but an act of humility and compassion, Kavada explained. Every time we bend down to wash the feet of another, we recognize the sacredness of the service and the importance of taking care of each other. This gesture reminds us that we are all part of a single human community, linked by invisible bonds of love and mutual respect. For this reason, monks often wash each other's feet, and we encourage visitors to our monastery to dedicate themselves to this practice for others. Washing the feet of a child, a parent, or a loved one can be a way to care for ourselves and those we cherish, moving our hearts and minds towards inner peace and emotional balance. Theravada also emphasized the importance of practicing foot washing with vinegar with full awareness and presence of mind. Every drop of vinegar is an opportunity to be fully present in the here and now, he said firmly. Practice mindfulness during the ritual, observing the sensations, thoughts and emotions that arise as you soak your feet in the vinegar. In this way, foot washing becomes not only an act of purification, but an experience of profound connection with oneself and the surrounding world. During the lesson, Theravada did not limit himself to theoretical aspects, but also suggested breathing and meditation exercises to be practiced during the ritual to promote greater awareness and mental tranquility. Remember that through regular practice, added the monk with a smile, in addition to the tangible benefits for the body such as cleansing, relaxation, and improved circulation, the very act of washing your feet represents a symbolic act of humility, purification, and rebirth. Feet are our connection to the earth, he concluded, and caring for them with mindfulness and intention reflects our broader commitment to caring for our body, mind, and spirit. His spit on the Buddha's face began to feel a sense of regret and shame for his actions. The serene response from the Buddha, contrasted with the merchant's fury, created a powerful moment of introspection. The merchant expected retaliation or rebuke, but the Buddha simply said, "What you have done is your karma. What I do in response is my karma." These words struck the merchant deeply, revealing a profound truth about personal responsibility and the nature of actions and reactions. Seeing the Buddha's calm and accepting demeanor, the merchant fell to his knees and asked for forgiveness. The Buddha replied, "There is nothing to forgive. You acted out of your own suffering. It is up to you to find peace within yourself." Kumin paused, letting the story sink in. He then addressed the man in front of him. Forgiveness in Buddhist teachings is not about excusing someone else's behavior or condoning harm. It is about releasing the burden of resentment and anger that weighs us down. It is about understanding the nature of suffering and the causes of our own pain. The man listened intently as Kumin continued. Forgiving does not mean forgetting or pretending the harm did not occur. It means acknowledging the hurt and choosing not to let it control your life. It is about cultivating compassion for yourself and others, recognizing that we are all imperfect beings on a journey towards enlightenment. Kumin added, "The Buddha teaches us that holding on to anger is like holding a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. By letting go of anger and resentment, you free yourself from the cycle of suffering." The man nodded, understanding the deeper meaning of forgiveness in Buddhism. Kumin concluded, "So, do not forgive for the sake of others. Forgive for your own peace of mind. Forgive to free yourself from the chains of anger and hurt. This is the true essence of forgiveness according to the Buddhist path." As the man left, he felt a sense of lightness and clarity. He realized that forgiveness was not a gift to the one who wronged him, but a gift to himself, a step towards his own healing and spiritual growth. Kumin watched the man leave with a smile, knowing that he had helped another soul find a bit of peace and understanding. He reminded himself and his disciples that every act of kindness and every moment of patience brings us closer to the ultimate goal of enlightenment. The lesson of forgiveness, as taught by the Buddha and shared by Kumin, remains timeless. It teaches us that true forgiveness is about inner liberation and the pursuit of peace, not just with others, but within ourselves. The Buddha's reaction made the merchant realize the helplessness of his actions. The anger he had harbored turned into remorse. All the accusations and insults he had prepared seemed insignificant in front of the Buddha's peaceful presence. The Buddha did not condemn the man. He did not humiliate him. Instead, he offered him compassion and peace. At this point, Kumin interrupted the narration to highlight a crucial lesson. Dear friend, forgiveness is like the peace of the Buddha. It is not something we do concretely. It is not simply saying, I forgive you. It is something that happens when we are willing to let go of the past and see the being before us in a new light. Kumin resumed the story, describing how the man, touched by the Buddha's compassion, returned home. The images of the peaceful Buddha and his act of spitting in the Buddha's face collided in his mind. That night, the man couldn't sleep. His mind was dominated by the image of the smiling Buddha and the act of spitting that he had committed. The man, Kumin said, was at a crossroads between remorse for his past and the possibility of a different future. Kumin emphasized the importance of this pivotal moment in the story. That man, he said, was going through a process of deep introspection. He was trying to forgive himself, feeling guilty and ashamed for how he had behaved. After days of internal torment, the man realized that his imagination was constantly constructing painful scenarios based on the past. Imagination, Kumin said, can be a powerful ally or a fierce enemy. In the wrong hands, it can create an endless cycle of anger and resentment. Over time, the man began to understand that the Buddha had not reacted to his actions with judgment, but with a very clear objective. Little by little, he abandoned thoughts of revenge and began to sincerely ask for forgiveness. One day, he returned to the feet of the Buddha, no longer in anger, but with genuine repentance. Forgive me, O great master, he pleaded. My ignorance has left me blind. I was just focused on my life and the prosperity of my family. The Buddha, with his eyes half open and a smile of peace, listened to the man's words. But when the man asked for forgiveness, the Buddha shook his head. I can't forgive you, he said kindly, because there is nothing to forgive. You have done nothing wrong to me. The man, surprised, asked the Buddha why he did not want to forgive him. Kumin explained that the Buddha had nothing to forgive, as he had accepted the man's act without judging him. It was as if the Buddha saw beyond the past and present, feeling the pure essence of that individual. This refusal to forgive, Kumin continued, taught the man a valuable lesson. Forgiveness is not only an act of mercy towards others, but also an internal process of liberation. The Buddha taught that to forgive is to perform an act of compassion both toward others and toward ourselves. The man, impressed by the Buddha's wisdom, began to reflect deeply on the meaning of forgiveness. He realized that forgiveness was not something that could be given or received, but rather an internal experience of liberation. Inspired by the Buddha, the merchant decided to embark on a path of self-forgiveness. Over time, he learned to let go of the guilt and shame that had tormented him. The practice of meditation became his refuge, where he learned to observe each moment without being dominated by the memory of the past or by worries about the future. Dear friend, Kumin said, turning to the man who was listening intently, forgiveness is not just a gesture we make toward others, but an act of kindness that extends toward ourselves as well. When we learn to see each moment with new eyes, overcoming painful memories and letting go of our distressing imagination, we can find inner peace. The story continued with the merchant, who, inspired by spiritual practice, eventually healed the wounds of the past and approached the Buddha to thank him. The Buddha, with his compassionate smile, received him with joy. Kumin concluded the story by emphasizing that forgiveness, both toward others and oneself, is a complex and profound process on our spiritual journey. Forgiveness guides us to a higher level of consciousness and compassion. It is a gift we can offer ourselves and others, freeing ourselves from the chains of the past and opening the doors to a bright future. The moral of the story is clear. Forgiveness in the Buddhist view is not an end in itself, but a transformative process that frees us from the burdens of past grievances and opens the door to a more compassionate future. By understanding and practicing forgiveness in this way, we can achieve a deeper sense of peace and enlightenment. Master Ko began his lecture by posing a vital question: can a person really cure himself of an illness? The audience, seated in respectful silence, awaited his answer. With great narrative mastery, Master Ko presented the story of Hana, a young woman in fragile health but with a brave heart, who had come to the monastery seeking his guidance. "Are you confident that you can cure your illness?" Master Ko asked Hana. The silence that followed was profound, like a pause before the roar of thunder. "Believing in yourself is the key," he continued. "Some people don't believe their bodies can heal, so they never learn to treat themselves without relying on medications or doctors." Master Ko described Hana's journey towards self-healing, emphasizing the importance of introspection and meditation. "The first step is to understand the sentinels of your body," he explained. "You must become sensitive, listen to the melody of your senses, and become aware of yourself. Meditation is the path that will take you to this consciousness. Only then will you be able to identify what your body is missing, understand the melody of the disease, and therefore how to overcome it." As the story unfolded, Master Ko revealed how Hana learned to calm her mind before sleeping. "The subconscious mind has the power to heal," he explained. "When you close your eyes before going to sleep, be aware that your illness is healing little by little, like a garden that blooms in the silence of the night." Master Ko asked the audience to imagine their healing journey, emphasizing that the mind will attract what it envisions and the body will follow the mind's orders. "This is the key to healing through self-image," he said. "Imagine yourself already cured. Imagine the disease dissolving like snow under the sun. The brain begins to reason as if that result has already been achieved." To illustrate this point further, Master Ko spoke of another disciple who adopted the practice of self-image and learned to visualize his healing through the power of the mind. "When we face illnesses or problems," said the Master, "we often begin to curse ourselves. Instead, we must love ourselves even when we are sick. Whoever loves himself cures his own illnesses." The story was like a vivid painting, bringing to life the concepts Master Ko taught. He described quiet nights where the disciple learned to calm his mind and visualize his healing. "After 30 days, Ko continued, the change was evident." Master Ko concluded his lecture by emphasizing the profound connection between mind and body. Forgiveness and self-healing are interconnected. By cultivating a loving and compassionate mindset, we open ourselves to the possibility of healing from within. This journey requires patience, practice, and unwavering belief in our capacity to heal. The audience left with a deeper understanding of the power of the mind in the healing process. The teachings of Master Ko resonated with them, offering a path towards self-forgiveness and self-healing that promised inner peace and well-being. The teachings of Master Ko and Master Rio offer profound insights into the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit. The key message is that healing is an inner journey, grounded in self-belief, self-love, and ancient practices that promote mental and spiritual balance. Master Ko's story emphasizes the transformative power of belief and visualization. By cultivating specific thoughts and actions for 30 consecutive days, these become habits that trigger a self-healing process. Ko highlights the importance of trusting ourselves before seeking external help. He encourages a holistic approach to healing, integrating meditation, self-reflection, and visualization. These practices help calm the mind, allowing individuals to listen to their bodies and visualize their healing. The main takeaway is that healing is not just about physical well-being, but also involves nurturing the soul and mind through love and trust. Master Rio's story introduces an ancient practice of placing a glass of water under the bed to promote inner peace and tranquility during sleep. This ritual, passed down through generations, serves as a metaphor for mental clarity and emotional balance. The story of Haruki, a young samurai seeking peace, illustrates how a simple act can have profound spiritual significance. The ritual of pouring water symbolizes the process of clearing the mind of agitation and worries, mirroring how inner stillness can purify one's thoughts and emotions. Both stories teach that the journey to healing and peace begins within. By embracing practices that foster self-awareness, belief in our healing potential, and mental tranquility, we can achieve a harmonious balance in our lives. The teachings remind us that self-healing is possible through commitment, perseverance, and a deep connection to our inner selves. Master Rio's teachings on the ancient ritual of placing a glass of water under the bed provide a profound insight into the practice's spiritual and psychological benefits. This ritual, as explained by the Master, serves multiple purposes: absorbing negative energies, cultivating inner peace, and combating anxiety and depression. The ritual's significance. Absorbing negative energies. Master Rio explained that a glass of water placed under the bed can absorb negative energies while we sleep. If the water appears cloudy or has bubbles in the morning, it signifies that it has absorbed the dark energies surrounding us. Cultivating inner peace. This ritual is not just about removing negative energies. It's a powerful tool for fostering inner peace. By focusing on the calm and clarity of the water before sleeping, individuals can let go of the day's worries and tensions. Each breath taken during this focus is imagined as transferring anxieties and fears into the water, leaving the individual in a state of stillness and tranquility. Connection and purification. Water, as an element, symbolizes connection and purification. This ritual allows individuals to reconnect with the universe's primordial energies and rediscover their true essence. The act of observing the water before sleep and imagining it absorbing negative emotions and thoughts is a form of meditation that promotes mental clarity and emotional balance. Steps to perform the ritual. 1. Preparation. Take a glass and fill it about 3/4 full with water. 2. Placement. Place the glass under your bed on the right side of your body. 3. Focus and meditation. Before falling asleep, observe the water for a few minutes, focusing on its calmness and clarity. Breathe deeply and visualize the water absorbing all your worries and tensions. 4. Morning. Check. Upon waking, check the water. If it appears cloudy, unclear, or has bubbles, it indicates that negative energies have been absorbed. Empty the water, regardless of whether it has changed, and refill the glass with fresh water for the next night. The lesson Master Rio emphasized that this ritual is more than a simple act. It is a powerful tool for achieving inner peace and emotional balance. The ritual's effectiveness lies in the faith, awareness, and conviction with which it is performed. Even small actions, when carried out with mindfulness and perseverance, can have a profound impact on our mind and spirit. Conclusion. The teachings of Master Rio underscore the importance of humility, perseverance, and the constant journey towards self-awareness. By integrating this ritual into daily practice, individuals can find peace, emotional balance, and a deeper connection to their inner selves and the universe. The disciples, enlightened by these teachings, realized that through such simple yet profound practices, they could undertake their spiritual journey with greater clarity and purpose. Master Rio's teachings continued to captivate his disciples with the introduction of another ancient practice, the use of the number 888 to attract prosperity, serenity, and inner peace. This practice, like the ritual of the glass of water, holds deep spiritual significance and offers a powerful tool for personal transformation. The power of the number 888, spiritual significance. The number 888 is considered an angelic number, a portal to luck and prosperity. It is linked to spirituality and the divine across various religions. Writing this number on a piece of paper and placing it under your pillow is believed to attract prosperity, serenity, and inner peace. Ritual practice. Master Rio explained the importance of this number, recounting an ancient story. He described how the energy of 888 permeates creation, bringing abundance, prosperity, and balance. He compared this number to a talisman that attracts positivity, a bridge connecting heaven and earth, and a portal leading to a world of wonders. Steps to perform the ritual. 1. Preparation. Take a small sheet of white paper and write the number 888 on it using golden or red ink, symbols of prosperity and luck. 2. Placement. Place the paper under your pillow before going to bed. 3. Focus and meditation. As you sleep, visualize the energy of 888 flowing through you, purifying your spirit and preparing you to receive new gifts from the universe. The lesson Master Rio emphasized that this ritual, like the one involving the glass of water, is more than a simple act. It is a powerful tool for achieving inner peace and emotional balance. The effectiveness of this ritual lies in the faith, awareness, and conviction with which it is performed. The transformative experience. That night, as the disciples placed the paper with the number 888 under their pillows, they experienced vivid and colorful dreams filled with symbols and mysterious messages. These dreams served as maps for their happiness, guiding them towards their highest destiny. Upon awakening, the disciples felt transformed, filled with hope and a renewed sense of purpose. Conclusion. Master Rio's teachings on the rituals of the glass of water and the number 888 highlight the importance of mindfulness and faith in achieving inner peace and emotional balance. By integrating these practices into their daily lives, individuals can reconnect with the universe's primordial energies, rediscover their true essence, and embark on a journey of spiritual growth and fulfillment. As if a cool breeze had swept away the clouds from their minds, a sense of renewed energy and profound inner peace pervaded their beings like a wave of positivity that enveloped and intoxicated them. Over the next few days, surprising events began to manifest in their lives. New opportunities knocked on their doors like flowers blooming at dawn. Unexpected encounters illuminated their paths like lighthouses in the night, indicating the way. Fortunate coincidences led them towards the realization of their dearest dreams, like shooting stars that grant wishes. The disciples, amazed and happy at these events and transformations, went to Kaido to thank him and learn more about the number 888. The wise monk, with a benevolent smile, invited them to sit around a fire which crackled brightly like a beating heart, uniting them under the same roof. 8 and 88 is an angelic number, Kaido explained, his voice vibrant with wisdom. It is a message sent by our spiritual guardians, a precious gift that infuses our lives with hope, love, and protection. Like a lighthouse in the night, this number guides us towards our highest destiny, illuminating the path ahead with its golden light. In Buddhism, the number 8 represents the Eightfold Path, the path that leads to enlightenment. The 888 is seen as a symbol of spiritual perfection and awakening, a symbol to be respected and through which one can find one's path in life. Master Kaido, asked a disciple. "Is it true that this number is also important in other religions?" The monk, smiling, replied, "In the Christian tradition, the number 888 is associated with Jesus Christ, because in Greek the name of Jesus has the same numerical value. For this reason, it is seen as a symbol of redemption, salvation, and eternal life." Kaido told stories of angels and spiritual guides who, through this number, had offered their help to people in difficulty. He spoke about how this number often appeared in prophetic dreams, sudden intuitions, and surprising synchronicities, like an invisible thread that weaves the fabric of our destiny. "The 888 is a symbol of balance and harmony," continued Kaido. "Like a bridge that connects heaven and earth, this number helps us find the right balance between our spiritual aspirations and our material needs. It is an invitation to live a life full of meaning, in which external prosperity is accompanied by internal growth, giving us emotional balance and mental well-being." While the disciples listened with great interest, their hearts grateful to their mentor for the wisdom he imparted, the monk taught them how to meditate on the number 888. "Think about this number, my dear ones. Visualize how a golden light flows through your body and purifies your soul. Pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that manifest in your life, recognizing them as messages from the universe that guide you towards your destiny." The disciples, with hearts full of gratitude, continued to practice the ritual of the number 888 and meditate on it. Their lives turned into a journey of discovery and joy, where every day was a new chapter in a wonderful story. The numbers danced before their eyes like notes of celestial music, inviting them to follow the rhythm of the universe. Despite the challenges and tests they faced, they continued with trust, faith, and perseverance. "Challenges are like stones that help us build the path of our life," Kaido had told them during his lessons. "Do not be afraid of falling, because it is only by falling that you learn to get up. The 888 is with you. You just need to open your heart to feel its energy." One of the most difficult tests was for Akiko, a young disciple with a pure heart and a kind soul. A sudden fire destroyed her house, leaving her with nothing. Akiko was disheartened and cried desperately, believing that the universe had abandoned her. Kaido took her hand and led her to the top of a hill overlooking the valley. The sun was rising, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. "Look," he said, pointing to the breathtaking view. "The universe has not abandoned you. It has given you this test to make you emerge like a phoenix from the ashes. Remember that the 888 is with you. Have faith, and your inner strength will guide you despite adversity." Akiko watched the sunrise and felt a new strength rising within her. The monk's words gave her the hope and determination to rebuild her life. With the help of her fellow disciples and the community, she built a new house, more beautiful and resilient than the previous one. After overcoming various tests and challenges, the disciples felt transformed. They had acquired a new awareness of themselves and their place in the world. One day, Kaido gathered them together again and asked, "What have you learned from all this?" The disciples, moved and aware, recounted their experiences. They had learned that true wealth is not in material things, but in inner strength, love, and compassion. They realized that the number 88 is not a magical lucky charm, but a symbol of their unlimited potential. The key to a happy and fulfilling life is to trust your intuition and live in harmony with yourself and the universe. Master Kaido looked at them with pride and greeted them with these words, "Now you are ready to spread your light in the world. Use your wisdom to help others and to create a better world."